allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's nice to see everybody here. As far as a roll call, all board members are present. We're going to start off with the superintendent's report.
Yeah, good evening, everybody, and good evening, board. Between each meetings, I'd like to show some slides of some of the great things that have taken place in our district since the last meeting. So I want to thank our friends out at the East Contra Costa County Historical Society. They come out and do middens with some of our third graders, and so these were Montañez, getting to enjoy them. Also, lots of fun family events in April. So this is Loma Vista's bingo night. Thanks to all the parents that helped that go out. And then this is the Ron Nunn Kindness and Caring, their KC Club, who made care packs for students who unexpectedly end up in the emergency room. So they get, it's just a nice thing to reach out to those kids that are experiencing that. Had an opportunity with Dr. Thornhill and Dr. Dow Jensen to meet with Congressman DeSaulnier around special education funding. So I appreciate their time making for that and making the pitch to need that. Former Bristow Middle School staff members were invited out. It says 39th anniversary. It's supposed to be 30th anniversary, so I missed that going forward, so I skipped forward 9 years. But staff and student leaders, there were great tours out there for that, and it was just a really exceptional celebration of past and present. So really fun night, and thanks to all the staff for that, Heather Jeffrey and Principal Anna Perales and her team. I want to congratulate our Outstanding Seroptimus Award winners from middle school. So congratulations to Grace Sonato, Scarlett Sun, and Ria Shah, and they were celebrated on April 17th at a special dinner in their honor. I want to welcome our newest BUSD resource officer, Officer Vaughn Basmagian, who was once a student here. So we're thrilled to have him joining us and look forward to working with him. Lots of great musicals and theater performances going on right now. So this is American History Through Time at Loma Vista from their fifth graders. Thanks to everybody who worked hard on that. And then the second annual Multicultural Festival family event that took place at Brentwood Elementary. Thanks for everybody who worked hard on that to come together. This is also the time for celebrating all the progress that have been made in music throughout the year, and an opportunity to see, to have the sixth grade bands come together with the fifth grade bands that will be feeding into them. So this was Bandapalooza for Loma Vista, Marsh Creek, Montañez, and Harvest Grove, along with Bristow. Our Bristow counselors were able to attend a wellness symposium sponsored by the county. So thanks for putting that on, and we're glad they got that opportunity out there. We had a special awards celebration for 3 of our district leaders. So I want to congratulate Justine Melendez, Julie France, and Emily Cooper, who were all celebrated at the Axon Region 6 Awards. So congratulations to them. The Mrs. Hansen's pioneer kindergartners were exploring worms like scientists, and so they were very excited to have this sort of hands-on opportunity. Thank you, Mrs. Hansen. And then Marsh Creek also had a multicultural event with different families bringing in celebrations from their heritage. So thanks to everybody who worked hard to put that on. And then on Saturday the 27th, the Bristow Choir and Band received superior ratings and first place showings, and they also won the Best Overall Middle School Band Award and the coveted Esprit de Corps Award. So really congratulations to them and Mr. Morello, always so celebrated. Marsh Creek fourth graders were able to visit the state capitol and meet Assembly Member Sharp Collins. They also got to pan for gold and be on the assembly floor with a special welcome for them there. I know these are a little hard to see with the backdrops a little light, but they'll be online if you want to see the pictures closer up. And then also another Bandapalooza for Edna Hill Middle School with the Mary Casey Black, Guerin, and Brentwood Elementary Band students that will go there. And then April 30th, just a wonderful night, the Brentwood Union School District Service Awards dinner. Got to celebrate so many award-winning employees, retirees, and long-serving employees. So congratulations to them, and a few more pictures there as well. A really nice night. And then Bye Bye Birdie took place at Adams Middle School. So wonderful showcase of talent. Congratulations to all those students and Mrs. Greth and Mr. Bullington for working together on that. And then the Adams Jazz Band, choir and orchestra all earned superior ratings and the highest overall scores at Music in the Parks at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. So congratulations to them and their achievements there. On May 3rd, which was a Saturday, our own Lisa Gray was invited to be the keynote speaker at the Mothers of Brentwood brunch fundraiser. So that was very exciting, and congratulations to her. She did a great job representing all of the impact that the Mothers of Brentwood have by the backpacks that they donated and the families that they support at the holiday time. And then I just want to take a second to thank all the parent organizations who celebrated our wonderful staffs for Staff Appreciation Week. So lots of great things going on out there. So our TK students with their first musical at Mary Casey Black, Springtime Down on the Farm. So pretty fun event. And then I want to thank many schools celebrated their food service employees that were there. This was Adams Middle School celebrating their school lunch heroes. And so thanks to the students for celebrating those hardworking employees that are out there. And then also another set of performances at Bristow Middle School. So this is The Little Mermaid, put on by the Drama Club. So thanks to Miss Davis for putting on a fun show there, and the Emil J. Geddes Theater. And then the Bulldog Carnival, another family event, Brentwood Elementary on May 1st. And then another family event, the Craig Glow Dance, on May 8th. And then Garin celebrated Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month with a lion dance. So thanks to their PTA for helping them put that together out there and getting that experience. And I want to congratulate our special educators of the month for April Ann Giozzi, Susanna Sue, Diane McMullen, and Carol Stafford. So thanks to them and congratulations for earning that special award. And that is my report. And what I'd like to do is we have some special awards tonight that we'd like to distribute. We have our exceptional volunteers, and so I'm going to ask the principals to come up with me as I transition the microphone, and we'll put that up. Alpha by school. So each of these principals is representing an exceptional volunteer that we're honoring that's made a huge difference in our classrooms and schools. And so, but as much as we could talk about them, I've asked them to limit their remarks to just 1 minute or less so that we get through all of them. And then we have a special certificate of recognition for them. And we also have a special challenge coin on the back that says, service to children, investment in the future, with our logo on it. So we're just so happy to have them. So I'm going to hand this over to you.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Griggs, and I'm the principal at Adams Middle School. And tonight I'm here to recognize our exceptional volunteer, MK Karmagam. MK truly embodies what's on the back of the coin. He has spent countless hours, time, energy, and money to help our school come up with a robotics program that we can really be proud of. He's donated materials of his own time. He's created programs and curriculum for our students. And I think the most exceptional part, perhaps, is the fact that he doesn't have a middle school student yet, but he's spending time with middle school students. And if you know anything about them, that is truly exceptional. Thank you so much.
Sorry. First one, so sorry, we're getting this down. Take a picture real quick. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Guy Rolfs, and this is Patty Snyder from Brentwood L, and we want to recognize Gabby Castro. So Gabby, come on up. Gabby epitomizes what the Exceptional Volunteer Award is. She is all over our school, she is all over the district, and she is all over our community. She volunteers in her children's classroom. She volunteers in the intervention program. She is part of School Site Council. She is part of ELAC. She is part of DLAC. She volunteers at the Village Resource Community Center. She has her fingers in the First Five. And then there's her children's activities of swimming. And then I'm going to turn it over to Patty real quick to talk about the multicultural fair.
Gabby is the one who made sure we made that happen this year. We had to reschedule back in the fall, and she just kept poking and prodding me. We got to get this done. So she's always the one to make personal contacts with our English learner families to make sure they get involved as much as they can. So we thank Gabby for all the things she does.
Hi, I'm Anna Perales, principal at Bristow Middle School, and I'm joined tonight by Kelly Ayotte, one of my vice principals. And we would like to recognize Miss Annie Villa. So Annie started out with us in our time of need and has pretty much just showed up almost every day since. And she is absolutely an integral part of our campus, building student relationships, helping us with campus supervision, and just really being a go-to all-around amazing person. Anything we need, Annie is there, and we really appreciate that. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Ayotte to say a little bit more.
So I directly oversee supervision on campus, and Annie shows up every day regardless of whether or not there's a substitute position available for her. She believes very much in our students and builds lasting relationships with them, and I don't know how we could do it without her. So we are so appreciative of all that you give to our school and the relationships that you're forming with our staff and our students. It really means a lot, and I am really proud of all the work you're doing and trying to move forward in your step to supporting kids in your future career.
Hello, good evening. I'm Lenore Medina, the principal of Edna Hill Middle School. Our exceptional volunteer is Mr. Ben. He's not here because he is a youth pastor at the church next door, and so he was not able to make it, but we will be able to celebrate him at our volunteer breakfast next week. And so what we appreciate about Ben is his willingness to show up during lunch when it's a little bit chaotic, and he's a friendly face because a lot of our students go to his church and are there this evening. So he's just able to help us with the students, and he's done really nice work with building our culture. So thank you.
Good evening. I'm principal here at Guerin Elementary. Welcome, first of all. This is Missy Warner. She is my vice principal, and we are going to recognize Danny Hudson. So a minute isn't really long enough for me to even list the things that Danny does at our school. Danny is an amazing PTA. I don't even know her title most of the time because she pretty much does it all. She attends board meetings. She plans lots of things. And my teachers love her the most because she is responsible for our Stock the Lounge program, which if you've ever not packed your lunch or been on a teacher calendar, which I know many of you are, there's a lot of days where there's not time to eat, not time to use the restroom, and she makes sure that we are well fed and nourished and drinks. And every month she has a volunteer program that does that. In addition to that, she holds many of our free family nights, and for us as a community to be able to provide those kinds of free activities for parents and families is amazing. So we appreciate everything you do.
Good evening. My name is Abby Wheeler. I'm the principal at Isaac Montañez Elementary School. We would like to recognize Jasmine Brand as our exceptional volunteer for Montañez. We are a brand new school, been open for 1 year, and Jasmine has been an amazing part of our community. She's helped establish our Parents Club. She's currently working on establishing a nonprofit for our BUSD preschool, which is also housed at Montañez Elementary School. She works daily in classrooms. She works in first grade classrooms. She does music lessons for TK students. Jasmine is that person who just sees a need and she fills it. And the best part about her is she wants zero recognition. She's always I'm the anonymous person. I want to help this school, and we're a brand new school, so we don't have a lot right now. And she's the person who comes through and connects our families to our school, and that's what we need most right now as a brand new school. So we're incredibly fortunate to have her as part of our family.
All right. Thanks, Jasmine.
Good evening. I'm Brian Jones, the principal at Cray Elementary, and we're here to recognize Danny Blake. Come on up here, Danny. I appreciate that. That's why you're so awesome. And these are for you too. Thank you. So we want to recognize Danny. She volunteers in the classrooms of our twin fifth grade boys. And so she works with Ms. Vanderhyde and Mrs. Jurisic around book study groups. And one of the things that they really are impressed by is Danny's ability to facilitate meaningful discussions with the kids, but also adapt the work with the kids based on the conversations and the pace of the reading with the kids. She also helps volunteer with a variety of different classroom and school-wide activities, like the hours dedicated to our book fair event, the field trip events as well. She also helps support other families who might struggle with seeing their kids on field trips. And anytime there's a need in the classroom, Danny's always sending supplies to help us out with that, which we appreciate. And it's absolutely noticeable that the success of her twin boys at Cray through their entire time is because of her part and her husband's obviously too, but their commitment and dedication to supporting them. And so it goes noticed that your effort and dedication are just really impressive. So thank you for your time.
Good evening. I'm Julie Croy, the principal at Loma Vista, and this is Dawn Pavon, the vice principal. We are celebrating Laura Cately tonight. Laura has been on our Parents Club for over 10 years. She is currently the president at the Loma Vista Parents Club. She creates these events that are engaging for all families, but also inclusive. She really is thoughtful on how she puts events together. And along with our fundraisers, she puts on these fundraisers that raise over $30,000 and more. It helps for our field trip buses, for our extra campus supervisors, and then supplies in the classroom. But she is so dedicated, as you can see, 10 years on Parents Club, and just is always around helping wherever it's needed. So thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Teresa D'Alfonsi. I'm the principal at Marsh Creek Elementary, and I have the privilege of introducing you to one of the most kindest and caring people that you could ever meet, Mrs. Tiffany Artiga. Come on up, Tiffany. Tiffany started at Marsh Creek when her daughter was in kindergarten as a parent volunteer. Then she got a part-time job at our school as the parent liaison. Then she got the job at our school as Secretary 1, and she did not quit doing all of her volunteer activities. As Secretary 1, she is still the secretary of our Parents Club and still the art docent coordinator, as well as working in her children's classes. So let's hear it for Tiffany.
Good evening. My name is Maria Gonzalez, and this is my Vice Principal, Maria Sanchez at Mary Casey Black Elementary. And it is an honor to recognize our Volunteer of the Year, Kristen Brunacardi. Kristen sits as our current vice president of our PTA, along with our school site council. Her impact reaches far beyond any title. She is constantly present on our campus, supporting classrooms, helping with events, or organizing picture days, filling in whenever she is needed, and always doing it with such a positive attitude. A lot of people ask, hey, is she part of your staff? No, she isn't. She's here to support us. What makes her really set apart from everybody else is how much she values us and how much we value her. Whether supporting our staff during a busy week, remembering birthdays, organizing meaningful events for students and families, or creating thoughtful touches like our staff room snack station, her kindness and generosity really brings us together. On our behalf, Kristen, thank you so much for everything that you do. You make a difference in our school community.
Hello, everyone. My name is Maria Elena Becerra, and I am the principal at Pioneer Elementary School, and I have Jamie Griggs, my vice principal here. And I have the great privilege to acknowledge Mrs. Carolina Villaseca. So Mrs. Villaseca has been a great contributor to our school. She has been a parent volunteer since her students were there, which was longer than 10 years ago. So she's been at our school supporting our students, even though she doesn't have her students there anymore. So she is very passionate about helping students, especially the EL students that are having difficult time reading. She is always there. And if you ever come to the 4th and 5th grade hallway, you will see her working with a group of kids with reading. So another thing that she does for our school is that she came and talked to me and said, hey, I really want to do this mock city council meeting with the students. And I said, okay, can you tell me more about that? And she said, I have it all. Everything is organized. All you need to do is just say yes and provide the space. And I said, okay. So she trained the kids on how to run the meeting. She collaborated with the city council mayor, and she did an amazing job creating this opportunity for students to learn everything that has to do with civic responsibility. So thank you. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Good evening. I'm Nick Casey, the principal of Ron Nunn. This is our award-winning vice principal, Julie France. And we are, yeah, there you go, clap for her. We're honored to welcome Tracy Nelson up as our Exceptional Volunteer of the Year. Tracy is the type of volunteer that all the teachers fight for. They want her in their classrooms. In fact, she's the most nominated person we've ever had in my time as nominating exceptional volunteer. So congratulations to that. She is at school almost every day, volunteering in both of her children's classrooms. She does our art docent program. She provides supplies with her own money. She makes the best caramel popcorn you've ever had that we all fight over in the office. And she's just always willing to help out no matter what we do. And so we're very, very grateful for you. So thank you and congratulations.
Can we give one more round of applause to all of our volunteers of the year? All right. We're going to take just a quick 5-minute break. There's cookies and water in the back. Please help yourself, and we'll start back right in 5 minutes.
So we can get started. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to open public comment. Can I have a motion to open public comment, please?
Move that we open public comment.
I have a first and a second. All in favor of opening public comment?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes per person. While we encourage your comments, unfortunately, state law prevents us from discussing items that are not on our meeting agenda. Public comments can be made at this time or during appropriate agenda item. We do take them very seriously, and if appropriate, staff will follow up. Public comments can also be submitted via email to Nicole Clevin, and her email is on the website. Just for the record, we do have one public comment that was submitted via email, and it shall be entered into the public record. At this time, I'd like to call Connie Torres.
I didn't even recognize her. She straightened her hair.
Now. Microphone. All right. Good evening, board members and Dr. Eaton. My name is Connie Torres, and I am the proud president of the Brentwood Teachers Association. To attract and retain the best educators, we must first decide what we truly value. And in the school district, our values are not found in our words, they are written in numbers. In Brentwood, there has been a pattern. We are told there isn't enough, not enough to invest, not enough to prioritize, and yet somehow the money appears. For years, we have asked to be seen differently, not just as a step in column, but as a line in your budget that reflects intention, commitment, and respect. I came to this district 24 years ago, a young bilingual teacher full of hope. This is the only district I have ever served. I built my career here. I built my life here. But today it feels different. Ask educators about morale and you will hear the same quiet truth. We are tired, we are stretched thin, we are giving everything, and still feel like it's not enough. We understand the state budget. We also understand our own lives, the rising cost of healthcare, the weight of expectations, the reality that passion alone does not pay the bills. And so we stand at a crossroads. You have a difficult decision to make, but we ask you to remember this. Don't tell us about your values, show us your budget. Because a budget is more than numbers, it's a story. It tells us who matters, it reveals what is possible, it defines the future you are choosing. Right now, the story we hear is about cuts, but there are other stories to tell of opportunity, of grants, of creativity, of advocacy, of investment in the people who show up every single day for students. Because when educators are supported, students thrive. I'll ask again to write a different story, one where we are not an afterthought, but a priority. And understand this, we will advocate, we will organize, we will rally, we will be loud, and we will not be quiet. I also want to acknowledge I want to acknowledge our CSEA brothers and sisters, our Teamsters. I may not be their president, but we are standing in solidarity today, and thank you for hearing me.
Therese Fideli.
Hi, everyone. I hate public speaking, but I love my job. And I show up every day and give my all for my students. I'm a teacher, I'm a parent at my school, I'm a coach at my school, I lead the unified sports program at my school. The funding's not always there, but I am. I show up even when I'm not getting paid. So I just want you to see the personal side of why our salary and our benefits are so important. I'm a single mom. I have 4 children, and my youngest son said to me, "Why are you always working?" That was heartbreaking because I'm his mom and his dad. I am everything to my kids. When I have to put items back at the grocery store because I don't have enough money, when I have to share the food off my plate because my kids are still hungry and I pretend that, oh, I'm full, you can have mine. Okay, that is the real side of the struggle of what it is to not have enough money and to have to pay so much for medical care for a family plan, right? And I have 2 master's degrees, okay? I am a well-educated person, and I choose to do this job. I could go elsewhere. I could make more money. I could do other things, but I love what I do. And I will continue to show up every day because I believe in helping others. That is my life's passion. And I just want to be able to bring it home and not have it be a constant struggle, not be exhausted all the time, not feel overwhelmed constantly, not have my kids asking me, why can't you be here for this? Why can't you help with that? Having to run today from school to volleyball game to, I went to Chick-fil-A for the Bristow choir performance because my son was performing, got there right when it ended, and then came here. So I will always put others first because that's who I am, and I want you to please respect that. Thank you.
Melissa, you're next.
Good evening, board members, administration, BTA, CSCA, staff members, and parents. My name is Melissa Rosnack, and I'm a second grade teacher at Marsh Creek Elementary and the BTA vice president. I'm here tonight with only 15 days of school left to just express my disappointment that yet again, we are in the month of May and we're still trying to settle this year's negotiations with the district. Are you guys aware that your certificated staff has been working 165 days this school year with no contract? Why is it that the district is still not prioritizing its employees? Why must we continue to beg to be a part of your budget and be recognized as vital to the survival of this district? Why are we an afterthought and we get whatever is left over after all the other budget decisions have been made and the money has been spent? Why must we keep repeating this pattern over and over? Last week, Dr. Eaton showed us it was Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. And while I do appreciate all the wonderful ways our parents clubs and our PTAs honor us, I honestly went home last week feeling tired, overwhelmed, very stressed, and not at all appreciated. We're in one of the busiest times of our school year, and everyone's tired, everyone is stressed, and then we keep adding work on top of work. I'm being required to go to trainings for things that are gonna happen next year. I have to pack and move my classroom. I have open house. It's too much, and there's little to zero appreciation happening. You wanna show me appreciation? I'm gonna repeat Connie's line. Don't tell us your values, show us your budget. And now we're looking at possibly going into summer vacation without a contract for this year, without a contract for next year, no cost of living increase. Anyone want to take a vacation this summer? I can't afford to do that. The board and the district need to realize that this is not the way to show your appreciation, not with words. Again, show us the budget. Educators are leaving this profession in record numbers and there's a teacher shortage out there. So your solution is to lose more teachers. If you cannot offer a salary and benefits package that competes with neighboring districts, you will continue to lose teachers, veteran teachers like me, 26 years in, who will go elsewhere to maximize our last few years of salary before retirement. We need to be thinking of attracting and retaining the teachers we have, and that we need more quality teachers for our growing district. Brentwood used to be a place where we competed. We were able to brag, we're so good, we're the best schools, we have the best teachers, we have the best salaries. Much of this is no longer true. We're falling behind and will continue to do so if you do not do more to keep and retain the wonderful teachers that are all in this room and all over your schools. Thank you.
Angela Norwood.
Good evening, trustees, Superintendent Eaton, and my wonderful Brentwood family. I'm Angela Norman. I've been a teacher in Brentwood since 2007. I was recruited here. And I serve as a special day class teacher at the wonderful Adams Middle School. I've been a part of the Adams family for 19 years now. I'm released to serve on the CTA Board of Directors, where I represent 20,000 members in Alameda and Contra Costa counties. In my role as CTA Director, I travel up and down the state to support our members. 2 weeks ago, I was on the lines with Little Lake Elementary, where they were on strike because of health care. 2 weeks before that, I was on the lines with Dublin, where they were fighting for health care, for smaller class sizes. 2 weeks before that, I was on the lines in Twin Rivers and Natomas, where again, they were on strike for the same things. A couple of months before that, I was on the strike lines with Richmond and with UESF. Educators are being disrespected all up and down this state. What we are asking for as Brentwood educators are safe and stable classrooms so that our students can thrive. We're asking that we be able to attract and retain quality educators. You can't do that with 1.75. You can't. I drove here directly from my CTA board meeting at our headquarters in Burlingame, about an hour and 42 minutes in traffic, where the gas costs are astronomical. 1.75 is a pay cut, especially when COLA is over 3%. It's a pay cut. These educators are dedicated to this district, to this community, to ensuring that these students are successful. I just saw on your pictures, Superintendent Eden, that little Basmajan is now serving in a service role as a patrol. It's one of ours. We are asking that you please give us the respect that we have deserved, that we have earned. Thank you.
Lisa Santiago.
Dr. Eaton, school board members, my name is Lisa Santiago, and I'm a teacher at Loma Vista Elementary. I will soon begin my 30th year teaching, 24 in this district. During this time, I have seen many changes in curriculum, changes in administration, changes in sites, changes in grade level and grade level teams. I have changed and set up a new classroom 5 years in a row. The changes have taught me that I must be flexible and creative and open-minded to hear new ideas. What and how I taught 1 year might not be as effective for the next unique group of students. Some changes were more difficult, but each change, I believe I became a better teacher. Continuing to do the same thing year after year benefits no one, not you, not me, not our students. Each board meeting starts with Dr. Eaton highlighting teachers and students who see a need on their campus and work together to fill that need. We have learned about clubs that encourage encouragement and acceptance. Classes such as the finance and budgeting class we learned about last month. The highlights are not about test scores or curriculum, but activities that go beyond the classroom subjects, activities that are unique to each school's current students. They are fluid, changing from year to year. One thing that has remained stagnant is the way BUSD puts together its budget. Year after year, the district spends money while teachers work without a contract, and then is later at the very end offered 0 to 2% salary increases, and then later complain of no money. They don't even make the effort to meet COLA. Your teachers are tired and frustrated. They're undervalued and take too many pay cuts in order to have health care for their families. Neighboring districts are finding ways to offer wages and full family benefits. It's time for our district to get creative, be flexible, find new ways to put together a budget. No longer keeping the same year after year. Stop complaining about the lack of funding. Instead, look carefully at your expenditures. Determine if students are directly benefited. Another computer testing program benefits no student's success. It's no longer acceptable to expect underpaid, financially stressed teachers to work without a contract. Embrace change. Be flexible. Work together with our union leaders. Put together a budget that supports teachers and benefits our students. Thank you.
Randall James.
Good evening. My name is Randall James. I am a veteran teacher at Heritage High School. My wife is a 30-year-plus teacher at Cray Elementary. There are some things taking place in her classroom that I feel that are somewhat unprecedented. At my years, I'm a teacher and a coach, and I've never been struck by a child. However, my wife has been struck physically multiple times per day over the past 3 to 4 weeks by one specific individual. I will obviously, for purposes, not bring up this individual's name, but it is a completely unsafe environment for not only my wife, but also the other 22 students in this classroom. The human factor seems to be misplaced on this environment. Student and staff should not physically or mentally feel unsafe when they attend elementary school, yet alone any school. No teacher should have to worry about being physically struck by a student even once, yet alone multiple times throughout the day. And I fully understand that students have rights, but the safety of the other students and teachers, there's other teachers that are being struck at this site, are a challenge. My wife comes home with more emotions than the Riley character from Disney's Inside Out, and this child continues to attend, strike others. Okay, the status quo is not working. My wife is stubborn. She will not give up. She's also competitive. She will not allow the other 22 students to have a long-term sub, despite what may be better for her as an individual. The bottom line is our students and teachers deserve a safe environment to learn and progress, especially at the kindergarten level. Thank you.
Christine James.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Christine James, and I've been teaching in BUSD since 2003, and I've been teaching for a total of 28 years. I'm here to advocate for the appropriate student placement decisions that truly support learning, safety, and the well-being of every child and educator in our schools. Our classrooms are not simply numbers on a spreadsheet. They are living learning environments filled with children who have academic, behavior, emotional, and developmental needs that require thoughtful thoughtful consideration. When placement decisions are made without fully considering those needs, the impact is felt immediately by students, teachers, and the entire classrooms. Teachers today are managing classrooms 25 to 35 plus with students. Within those classrooms are learners at different levels, students receiving support services, students with behavior challenges, and students who require significant emotional regulation support. Yet despite these growing demands, we are often expected to absorb unsafe and inappropriate placements without adequately staffing and resourcing or planning. That is not sustainable. Every student deserves a classroom where they can feel safe, supported, and ready to learn. But that can only happen when the learning environment itself is balanced and manageable. When one classroom becomes overloaded with high needs, several behaviors, or unsafe situations, the learning of all students is affected. Instruction time is lost. Students become dysregulated. Teachers are stretched beyond capacity, trying to meet everyone's needs while also maintaining safety. We cannot continue to ignore the reality that teachers' working conditions are student learning conditions. A safe and healthy classroom environment matters. Teachers cannot effectively educate when they are constantly in crisis management mode, when classrooms are being evacuated, when students or staff are harmed, or when educators are left without proper support. These situations affect morale, retention, and ultimately the quality of education and students receive. This is not about excluding students. Every child deserves access to public education and compassionate support, but inclusion without appropriate support systems, staffing, training, and placement considerations is not true inclusion. It places unfair pressure on everyone involved, including the very students we're trying to help. We're asking the board to prioritize thoughtful placement practices, overall classroom balance, behavior and academic needs, safety concerns, available supports, and the capacity of the learning environment. We're asking for proactive planning instead of reactive responses when the problem escalates. We're asking for recognition that teachers are professionals whose voices or concerns should be at the priority of the conversation. When classrooms are safe, balanced, and properly supported, students thrive, teachers thrive, schools thrive. Thank you.
Catherine Marino.
Good evening, board members. Good evening, Dr. Eaton. Good evening, my fellow cohort out here. Again, it's May. We don't have a contract. This practice of doing this every year needs to change. We need to flip the lens. We need to start putting teachers, our custodians, our aides first. They're the ones in the classroom. They're the ones who are making sure our students are safe. They're making sure our students' needs are met. They're getting more pressure put on them every day, but we're still showing up, but without a contract again. So it's time to change the narrative and start putting the people who work with the kids first. Look at that budget. When you're approving the budget board, I hope you're asking questions. Where is this money going to? How is it helping our students? How is it helping the people who are working with our kids? What is going to give us the best bang for our buck? Really asking those questions before you approve the budget. It's important. We're a team. We need you to be a team with us. And right now, we don't feel like a team. We feel like it's us versus the district, and it shouldn't be that way. We all want the same thing. We want our kids to survive. We want our kids to thrive. But right now, we don't have that feeling. I would love to have it back. I would love to feel like, yes, I am valued. Yes, my librarian is valued. Yes, our custodian Victor is valued. I would love to feel that. I would love to feel the aides that are coming day after day when they are, again, being treated just in classrooms where they're getting hit, they're getting bit, but they keep coming back without a contract. That's what's something you think about. And we shouldn't have to work 2 to 3 jobs to live in Brentwood. We know it's expensive here. We know California's expensive, but some of us who are towards the end of our career, we might stick it out for Brentwood. But what's going to happen to these new teachers when they're trying to come into our district and they see they have to pay 1/3 of their pay goes to healthcare when they could go to another district and it's all paid for. Think about that. You're not going to retain good teachers if you don't pay people to stay in Brentwood. And it will be a reality. It might not seem it yet, but it's going to happen. Be proactive, change the narrative, figure a way to make us part of the budget, not the afterthought. Thank you.
Stacy, you're first to 4. Stacy, just so you're aware that he'll get 3 minutes, and then
Paula
will get 3 minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Stacy Dufour, and I teach 3rd grade at Brentwood Elementary. I stand before you tonight with some hesitation because I stood at this podium before and left feeling like my concerns were truly not heard. Last time I spoke, I was advocating against the decision to collapse one of our 3rd grade classrooms after the school year had already began. The decision disrupted students, families, teachers, and the climate of our school. It sent a message that the voices of those closest to students could be overlooked. As teachers, speaking in front of adults is not what we do. We're much more comfortable speaking to students. But last week was Teacher Appreciation Week, and I was overwhelmed by the love and gratitude received from my students and their families. Their support reminded me of why I needed to be here tonight. So tonight, I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm speaking for my students. I'm speaking for their families, and I'm speaking for the educators who show up every single day for this community. I've lived in Brentwood for over 24 years. During that time, I've had the privilege of teaching more than 700 students in grades 3 through 5. I've watched Brentwood grow tremendously. I was hired in 2001 as one of approximately 105 educators brought into the district during a period of rapid growth. Many of those educators are still in this room tonight. We've watched new neighborhoods rise, new businesses open, new schools built, and our community expand in ways none of us could have ever imagined. And through all of that growth, educators have adapted. We've opened new schools, we've navigated crowded classrooms, we've reinvented education during COVID, and now our district is preparing for yet another major transition with our new leadership in the horizon. But with every transition comes this question: what kind of district do we want to become? Do we want to be a district known for investing in its teachers, or known for the losing of them? Because right now, many educators are being asked to do more while receiving less. Less competitive salaries, less competitive benefits, less support than surrounding districts. And that is simply not sustainable. Every family in Brentwood has felt the rising costs of food, housing, gas, childcare, and healthcare. Teachers feel that same pressure. As an educator, as a single parent of 3, I feel that pressure every single day. When bargaining began at 0% offer, then moved to 1.25, then 1.45, and now 1.75, it sends a clear message that educators are not being prioritized. We are asking for 3.75 and fully covered medical benefits, not because we're asking for something excessive, but because we're asking for what's fair and our COLA that we should be receiving. Fair compensation helps retain great teachers. Fair benefits helps families stay afloat, and sustainability
Okay, I'm gonna have to cut you off. I'm sorry.
helps children thrive. When teachers leave because they can no
Thank
longer
you.
afford stay,
Thank you.
part of my time. Students lose trusted relationships, schools lose experienced educators, and our community loses the people who help shape this future. We cannot continue hiding behind the phrase, we are an underfunded district, while doing nothing bold enough
Ma'am, I'm
to
trying
change
to
that
be
reality.
patient, but please, 3 minutes, we're trying to be strict, and everybody else is adhered to it. So
I'm asking you to do more than just listen. I'm asking you to act. Please make this change.
So since you guys wanted a couple be together, you're going to end up with 2 minutes.
Totally fine.
Perfect. Thank you. 2 minutes, please.
Thank you, Board. I am also from Brentwood Elementary. What I wanted to mention tonight was that there are upcoming revisions to Gavin Newsom's new proposed budget. It's scheduled to be released on or around May 14th. That is new information that's coming out, so I did want that to be considered before the May 19th next organized bargaining meeting. It is expected that with this surging revenue that the state is expecting, there will be a significant increase that they have reported in tax revenue. This was reported today. Governor Gavin Newsom's expected to release his May 2026 budget revision, while previously withholding $5.6 billion in January. The new stronger fiscal picture makes this release of funds, along with the potential additional funding, highly probable as budget negotiations ramp up. I'm asking that we consider that when we're going to make this next bargaining in the bargaining that we're doing. Lots of districts have counted on this money, obviously, when it was restricted before, obviously. Educators and state lawmakers are pushing for that restoration of that $5.6 billion. So again, we're asking that this be taken into consideration for our next bargaining, and that we're putting teachers first. Thank you.
Jeremy.
I'm tall. Can you hear me? Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Jeremy Jones. I'm a parent of a 2nd and 4th grader at Montanez Elementary. I'm the school site council chair. I work in financial services, and I'm also a planning commissioner for the city of Brentwood. First, shout out to Principal Wheeler and the team at IME. They are awesome. They have done a great job at building a culture and a community at the school, and I just want to give them the recognition that they deserve. I'm here because when Montanez opened, our families were told that eventually we would have a K-8 school. In some conversations we heard as well, words like sooner than later. Now we're hearing there's no timeline at all for that to happen. Now, as a parent and as someone who works in finance and planning, I know that we don't know is really a strategy. We're not necessarily asking for the impossible here. We're just asking for a better roadmap, because I get a lot of parents that ask me, what's the plan? They thought that this is what they were going to be getting at some point, and now they're not getting it. And so they're wanting to know what the plan is. So just a few questions for the board. The first is, if K-8 is still the goal, what are the specific milestones we need to hit to get there? If the budget is the primary hurdle, what does that gap actually look like? And if it's no longer realistic, then what is the realistic path going forward? So I would hope I can get some answers at some point, and we would appreciate that. But being here and listening to representatives and teachers tonight, I do want to acknowledge them. I think we need to be honest. The teachers are everything. And without them, there is no school, period. Right? So I'm naive. I'm probably naive, so you have to forgive me. But I just don't get it. I don't understand why this is even a debate. Teachers are critical to the world. They're the most important part of this entire system. They have to be the priority. I think they've earned a fair wage. They deserve it. So I'm challenging this board to go outside the norm. Don't just follow the standard script. Be bold. Let's show the county, the state, the world what it looks like to actually value educators. I would just say, find a way, pay them, make it happen. Be the change I think we desperately need. Okay, thank you.
Amber Hill.
I'm going to shift that a little bit. There we go. Hi, my name is Amber Hill. I teach 7th grade at Edna Hill. I know the irony. And this is my first year with Brentwood Union, actually. I wanted to provide a perspective that was maybe a bit different than your veteran teachers. So I came from Lammersville Unified School District in Mountain House, and I actually came to this district at a pay cut. The only reason I was able to make it work was that my previous district did not offer single person benefits. Their family benefits were much higher, but as a person without a family right now, this made more sense. My fear comes in with the idea that I would like a family one day. And for that to happen, that's a lot of money, I'm sure all of you know. So that's something that I would love for you to consider outside of just the people who struggle and already have their families. Some of us younger people coming in, it's a dream. As a young person who has been teaching for 5 years, I worry that my future in this district may be jeopardized if I were to start a family. With the job market as bad as it is right now, I am the breadwinner in my family of 2. If I'm being honest, I don't know that I would be able to start a family on what I currently make right now. It is for this reason that I request that you show your support to teachers like me as well. In addition to the current families, think about the future families that you will benefit by supporting your local teachers. Brentwood is a really wonderful community, and I love it here. Please continue to make it a place where I can learn and grow just as much as the students in my classroom. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And like I said at the very beginning, we can't make comments back. It's the state law. But I can assure you that we hear you and we do care, and hopefully we can come to some kind of agreement soon. And thank you. I'll take a motion to close public comment.
Move that we close public comment.
Second, please. I have a motion and a second. All in favor of closing public comment?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 5-0. Public comment is now closed. Does anybody need, I'm going to wait till they clear. Hold on. Okay, does anybody want any of the consent items pulled or spoken to?
Yes, I would like one. Hello, Mrs. Wheeler. Hello, Mrs. Briggs. Hello. We have on our agenda for the personnel report today, we have a very special person for you to consider. It would be our next principal of Pioneer Elementary. So I want to introduce Samir Noor, who's here in our front row. And Samir, welcome, Samir. As we know, we appreciate the service of Maria Elena Becerra, who's leaving us after this year, and so it opened up a position at Pioneer. Samir is currently the vice principal at Heritage High School. He was the 2025 AXA Region 6 Co-Administrator of the Year. He previously has been a middle school vice principal. He was an elementary school teacher in Pittsburgh. He has his master's degree from San Diego State University, and he's completing his doctoral degree from UC Davis in June. When we called around about him, I never had so many glowing recommendations about somebody, just talking about how he communicates, how he works with others. And so he also lives within walking distance of Pioneer, and he speaks Farsi. So right now, Samir, nothing's been settled yet, and so they have to vote on the consent agenda. So should you get at least 3 votes, you'll be the next principal. If not, it was a long public comment session, so I'm sorry you had to sit through that, but we'll see how it goes.
Nobody else has anything to pull or add. I move that we.
Sorry, I apologize. I have one other change. I made a mistake on the personnel transaction report, and so on your, it's more of a thing. It'll be corrected in the record. But when I put, if you look in the second row, you'll see that there's 2 certificated people that are listed at the bottom of the classified new hires. So they're on there, so they'll be approved. But we'll move that. But I just wanted to point out that mistake that I made.
Thank you for the clarification.
Sure.
And if you don't get the vote, grab a cookie on your way out.
I move that we approve consent items 8.0 through 8.16.
Have a second, please. Okay, I have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations.
I don't know which way I should stand. Maybe, can I stand this way? Thank you to the board. Thank you, everyone. I'm really excited for the school year to start. I just want to introduce, my son is back there. His name is Hanif. He's just over 2. My mom and dad recording right there, and my wife is with our almost 2-month-old right by the door. So I just want to introduce them. I'm just excited to be here. Thank you.
Can we take a picture with the board?
Sure.
Yes.
Let's pull that out from under me. No, you're fine. Thanks. Have a mic up.
Hearings and appeals. We're going to open the public hearing on middle school English language arts.
And board, Michael just has a couple sentences he'd like to say real quick.
Good evening, Board of Education. So just a quick note that this opens our 30-day public hearing for our Common Lit materials that we had to adopt on sort of a short notice because our old program, Springboard, stopped producing the materials and stopped supporting the program. I'm very excited to say that we found this really quickly. It's open source materials, meaning it doesn't come from a publisher, and so the costs are about 1/10 of what a normal program would be. And we will be sending you tomorrow a link to access so you can see all the materials. They're all available online, so you won't have to come in as you've done in the past, but they'll all be available to you. And then anyone who reaches out to me will send those materials as well. So this opens that 30-day period.
Thank you, Michael. 9.1.
To open and close the.
Sorry, we have to.
I move that we open the public hearing.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 9.1. This one will be an open and closed public hearing for a fee justification study.
Say anything? Okay.
Yeah, as part of an agenda item that's a resolution farther down in the agenda, this is a biannual fee justification study to increase school facility fees if the district qualifies for level 1 and we're required to have a public hearing.
Thank you. I'll take a,
If there's no public comment, then I'll move to close public hearing.
I think you have to move to open it first and then.
That.
No, that was the first one.
Oh.
Sorry, this is the second one. Yeah.
A little fast here, guys.
Move that we open item 9.1.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We close 9.1.
5-0.
Okay, now there's a motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Sorry, President Dudek, we confused you there because we had one that you just opened and it stays open for 30 days, and then one that opens and closes in the same time because we can't get consistent with the laws.
That's why you make the big bucks.
We'll approve that
Yeah.
same one later tonight.
President Dudek, one of the things that you mentioned to me earlier was to let you know when there was agendas when we thought that we could maybe let principals go. It's May, and I think from my position and everybody else up here, it might be a good time to allow them. Some of them may want to stay just because they enjoy it, but many of them might want to go. They've been out a lot of nights.
Mr. Casey may go.
I believe that's just an informational item, so go ahead and get out of here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. And then there were 3. You guys are the soldiers. I get it.
You'll hear it. We'll tell you.
Thank you.
Report out of closed session. I do have a report out of closed session. In closed session, the board took action to suspend a classified employee without pay for a period of 20 working days. The action was approved by a 5-0 vote.
Correct.
10.1, expulsion of student 03-2026-09. All those in favor? Oh, do you want to talk about it?
Sorry, you have to do a motion first on that one.
I move we open item 10.1, the expulsion of student 03-26.
Sorry,
26.
Dr. Thornhill, on this one, it's not an open, it's just you're moving to either approve or deny the recommendation.
I move we approve.
I second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Student -03-202609, the vote is 5-0 to recommend expulsion. 10.2, expulsion of student 04-2026-16.
I move that we accept the recommended stipulated expulsion of student number 04-2026-16.
I'll second.
I have a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Expulsion of student 04-2026-16 has been approved 5-0. 10.3, expulsion of student 04-2026-17.
I move we accept the recommendation of the stipulated expulsion for student 04-2026-17.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? The expulsion of student 04-2026-17 has been approved 5-0. 10.4, the May revised budget update.
Yes, so I am going to disappoint you here. So we put this in the hopes that the governor, sometimes they release it early. It's not scheduled to be released until tomorrow. And so we knew we wouldn't have time to do a presentation, but we wanted to share what we've learned. We have learned nothing at this point. So the challenge is right now is usually when you don't see leaking of the May budget revise, it means that the Assembly and the Senate and the governor are still in disagreement over what he's going to put forward. So we anticipate that that will come still out tomorrow or be delayed till Friday. And at that point, we'll share an update. I also always share updates with the staff of the revisions at that point of what comes out. Just as a reminder, the May revise is following the January budget, which is the initial proposal. And then they have all the way till the middle of June to come to an agreement on the actual budget going forward. Though sometimes they come to a general agreement and some of the details aren't worked out until a month later for us. Some of the major challenges that we're seeing in the May budget, you heard some of them described tonight, right, is the governor proposed in January to underfund Proposition 98 by $5.6 billion. That's approximately $9 million to our school district if it was distributed by student. Sometimes we don't know how things are going to be distributed. There's also significant one-time money. What Paula said at the end about new money coming into the state is very true. And so I think that's part of what they're struggling with. The challenge is right now they're underfunding Prop 98, but they're in deficit spending in the other 60% of the state budget. And so we're not sure how that's going to balance out. And also they're only required to give us COLA. So if there's more money that comes in, they don't necessarily have to give us that directly. They can put it in a savings account. And so we'll be very eager to see. It's one of the heartening things is that the Education Coalition, so rarely do they come together around one thing, but CTA, CSBA, AXA, and some other groups have come together around calling for that money to be distributed to schools. And so I wish I had more of an update for you, but that's what we have right now. Okay. Yeah.
Still can't leave. You guys want to leave? Go ahead. That was a joke.
Thank you, guys.
10.6, the update on the LCAP process, timeline and feedback. 10.5. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm one ahead. 10.5, priority goal update, implement best practices in all classrooms. Very nice, ladies. Michael, you look puzzled. Good?
I'm trying to get my technology to work. Oh. Hang on one second. Don't worry, Robert. It's human error.
I know. He's got it.
Oh my goodness. Echo. Here we go. All right. I'm here to give you a quick update on the on-board priority goal number 1. So this is my final update for this year. Did a presentation a little bit earlier in the year. So this is goal number 1 about implementing best practices in all classrooms. And so just to start off with a little bit of data, so you can see according to the dashboard in the English language arts, we increased by 5.4 points this year, which brought us from the yellow indicator to the green indicator, which is the state target. The state target is to be in that green indicator. You can also see that we had some shifts in some of our student groups down there. So we don't have any student groups in red and less student groups in orange and more student groups in yellow. So some good movement there in English language arts. In math, we maintained pretty consistent, so that is a maintenance of 1.6 points. The nice thing about seeing growth in English language arts but maintenance in math is our next curriculum adoption. So hopefully that we'll see some progress from there. That's what we anticipate. In our English learner programs, we maintained in green, but we did bring our our long-term English learners up to fully up to green instead of yellow. And here's just a picture of our student groups in academically. You can see that in 2024, the state reported in English, language arts, and math. In 2025, they added science. So that's not an error. It wasn't reported in that year from the state level. And I think that the quick there that I would say is you see we only have one group in red, and that's our English learners in science, whereas before we had 5 groups in red. So a lot more yellow, less red, and overall just some improvement across our student groups. So here's some of the actions that we've taken. I've talked about these things before, but some good work in professional development around best practices and our new Family Life program and middle school social studies program. We've been working on improving our assessments so we get good data around student learning in both in terms of common assessments and across the district. We put a lot of energy into our transitional kindergarten program this year, getting us up to where all students are now eligible for TK based on their birthday. And then some work really looking at our student study teams, which are the site teams that jump in and support when students are really struggling with actions and next steps. We also provided scholarship funding for some of our students to attend 6th grade camp. We continued our work around English learner, focused on our English learner master plan that Lindsay Waite helped us develop before she left the district, including our RFEP, so that's reclassified students progress monitoring. And then Elevation is the program we use to monitor those students and their success. We've continue to implement community celebration lessons, focus on our intervention program, and be ready for our math pilot and our implementation of UFly. So that's really just a quick update on where we're at with our best practices work.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Michael, I got a question.
Yeah.
You know, when you're looking at the best practices data, the student groups, the two columns.
Can you put your
the best practices student groups 20?
Right here, Vic, this one.
That's it. Yes, thank you. On that, if you could tell a story about that, where we stand, because we, you know, this stuff. We don't talk enough about this stuff, you know, and this is what really it's all about. And if you could tell a story about where we stand with achievement, using this as an illustration, what would that story be?
Yeah, and in a quick answer, the story would be that we, like probably every district or close to every district in California, have an achievement gap issue, meaning we have some groups that perform better than other groups. They are typically, for us, the similar groups that don't perform as well in other districts. So you can see that our students with disabilities, for example, nice that we made growth up to orange, but they were in the red. You can see that our homeless students struggle, our socioeconomically disadvantaged students struggle. So to me, Vic, it's really an effort to try and close that achievement gap, which I would say the important piece that we have that really is focused on meeting students where they're at is our intervention program and our intervention teachers. That's where this is those are the people that would make a difference, along with classroom teachers, and the hope that things like UFly will help us in areas of language arts and reading instruction.
Okay, thank you. It looks to me, if you really start digging into this a little bit, there are gains in closing that gap in here.
Yeah, there are.
And what it demonstrates, though, is it's really, really hard work.
Yes.
And because you know, there's no magical everybody's going to jump up to the next level.
Yes.
It takes all of the work that's been done, and it continues to be going on, that we have to protect, because I mean, it's a long, hard process, but there is progress being made in terms of closing that gap.
I would absolutely agree. And when you're talking about students in green versus red or orange, those are vast differences. That's a lot of growth that needs to be made. So good point.
And there's a lot of science. There's a lot of science green on here.
There's a lot of science green on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Any other questions? That was just an information item. Moving along to 10.6, update on the LCAP process timeline and feedback.
Yes, Board, we're continuing to progress along in our timeline. So what you have before you today is we sent out the draft goals that we've had to at this process out to our parent, our staff, our community groups. Those have come back to you with comments. We have been reviewing those as a cabinet team. We'll continue to do that. And we'll come back with the goal of coming back with revised goals tied to the budget that'll come to you in June for those meetings. So happy to take any questions or hear any comments that you have.
Any questions? Awesome. Thank you so much. That was an information item. Also, 10.8, approval resolution 2026-16.
10.7.
Oh.
Skip 10.7.
Oh, we just did that. Update on 2026 bond issuance costs.
Yes. The district has recently refinanced bonds and sold some more bonds. Our Measure B 2016 bond passage, which the community so generously supported. And this is an information item, and we're required to report to the board the actual costs of issuing the general obligation bonds that were sold by the district, and that it be disclosed at a public meeting. And so on May 5th, bonds were sold by RBC Capital Markets, and in the board packet attached are the details of the cost of issuance for both bonds. And I do want to say that the cost of issuance for the new money bonds was $135,474 and some change, and the refunding bonds, the cost of the issuance was $263,899. And if you take a look at when we started the process of preparing to sell the bonds, it was estimated to actually be $53,900 more in costs, and there was some savings through the process with the underwriter and selling of the bonds. And this is information.
Thank you very much. Now, 10.8, approval of resolution 2026-16.
Yes, so this is related to the public hearing that we opened and closed. And what this resolution allows the district is to, we did a justification fee study. It is done every other year as a process where if we meet the right qualifications, we can charge an increase in our developer fees, which are fees that are assessed for new residential or commercial construction. So in the board packet, there is the full justification fee study. What the resolution does is it allows us to charge the new fees, which the new fees are for our district $3.77 per square foot for residential and 61 cents per square foot for commercial. And as a reminder, we have a 70-30 split agreement with Liberty Union High School on the fees. And this is an action item.
I move we approve item 10.8, approval of resolution 2026-16.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor of approving a resolution 2026-16?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.9, approval of resolution 2026-17.
Yes. So this is a resolution that is required by the state school facilities program, which is how they help match bond expenditures for school districts. And it's really an updated resolution to one we've had in the past. So what it does is the Ed Code says as a condition of being eligible to request to have a determination that we could apply for school bond funds from the state, and that we can submit plans, and also that we're in the process of updating our 5-year master facility plan, and we are in process of that. So we approved this resolution, and then before October, the end of October of this year, we would come to the board with an updated master plan. So this resolution says we can move forward with continuing to get request funding from the state.
This is an action item.
Move that we approve item 10.9, resolution 2026-17.
I'll second.
I have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. 10.10, approval of declaration of need for fully qualified educators.
Yes, good evening, board. So the declaration of need is required under California law, and it requires school districts employing individuals on any type of emergency type teaching permit, a limited assignment permit, or a credential waiver to annually adopt a declaration of need for those qualified educators. The declaration verifies that the district has made reasonable efforts to recruit and hire fully credentialed teachers, but may have the need to utilize alternative credentialing options to ensure all classrooms are appropriately staffed.
Again, this is an action item.
I move we approve item 10.10, declaration of a need for fully qualified educators.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 10.10, approval of declaration of need for fully qualified educators is approved 5-0. 11, board member comment, future agenda items. I have one thing. Two of the speakers spoke in regards to the teacher being assaulted on a daily basis in her classroom. I'm wondering if somebody could.
I'll follow up on that. Thank you.
And if you need the name of the person, let me know. I made notes. Okay.
Thank you.
Announcement is the next regular board meeting will be held June 10th, 2026 at 6 p.m. And just a reminder, we have graduations on the 3rd and 4th of June. And check the website for the schools and their time. With that being said, motion to adjourn.
Move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night, board members.